Kamala Harris could well be the next Vice President of the United States. If you look at how the poll numbers now are stacked up, they are in favor of Joe Biden vis-a-vis Donald Trump. Now, Kamala Harris grew up eating curd rice, dal, potato curry and idli, among many things. She used to visit her grandfather in Chennai every couple of years. She's described taking walks along the Besant Nagar beach. And her mother made sure that she and her sister were aware of their Indian heritage. So it's no surprise then that there is a social media frenzy around Kamala Harris. Her rise is being celebrated by Indians within and outside India, because she's not just the first black woman to get a presidential ticket. Her father is Jamaican, but she's also the first Indian American to get a presidential ticket, because her mother was born in Chennai before she emigrated to the United States. But do her Indian roots really make a difference? Because first and foremost, she is an American. This is what we tried to find out by talking to distinguished career diplomats. Now, it's important to remember here that Kamala Harris herself has never really highlighted her Indianness or her Indian roots, except for a few interviews where she was specifically asked on this, and on a show that she did with comedian Mindy Kaling, where they were making masala dosa together, which is where she spoke about the food that she had while growing up, South Indian food. But apart from that, she has always highlighted her Jamaican roots more. In fact, in her autobiography in 2018, she said that her mother raised both sisters as to be proud African Americans, because that's how they will be perceived in society, as two black girls. So that's the way she was brought up. So though she embraced her Indian culture, she identified primarily with her Jamaican roots. Now, what is her rise, or what kind of policy impact will it have with India potentially if she becomes Vice President? So we spoke to three diplomats, Kanwal Sibal, Meera Shankar, as well as Nalin Suri. Broadly, their consensus is, yes, India should be happy, we should be proud that a person of Indian origin is becoming the Vice President. But more than that, policy-wise, it's unlikely to have any impact. So we must be cold and neutral in our assessment. We must not be carried away or congratulate ourselves for her rise, because first and foremost, she is an American. Secondly, though the perception around Democrats in the US increasingly has been that there is an extreme left, a radical left, people widely believe that she is likely to be more centrist in her policies and approach, that she may not take an extreme left view. Though she has been critical about India's actions in Kashmir in the past, that was largely the party line, and it's not reflective of her policies in future. On the immigration side, it's likely to be positive, because Joe Biden has a more liberal attitude to visas, to green cards, to immigration, to how students are treated. So that might actually be positive for India versus what's happening with Trump. Thirdly, if you look at the Vice President's role in the US, people say that it's largely ceremonial. She will not have independent power to take any policy decisions. She will have to take the cue from Joe Biden if he wins and goes on to become the President of the United States. Now, the good news is Joe Biden in his recent speeches has spoken positively about India. He said bolstering ties with India will be a top priority, will be high priority, because they are a natural partner, and he might even reverse some of the immigration policies that Trump has done during his tenure. So that's the broad consensus on Kamala Harris. We can all be happy that, she's born to an Indian mother, her grandfather was in Chennai, and how she ate South Indian food. But she's obviously first and foremost an American. That's her identity. And policy-wise, she definitely will identify and understand Indian culture. But more than that, she's going to take her cue from what the Democratic Party and Biden in particular wants. And the good news is he seems positive on India. So net, it's likely to have a positive impact. Tell us what you thought about Kamala Harris's rise. Twitter, Facebook, everything is just buzzing with this news. Tell us what you think of her in the comments below.